Hey Yagaho guys, we got some more TCG action here, and whoa, this is not TCGO. What is this? This is a different site. It's called TCG-051. I believe this site's being maintained and updated by one guy, so he's doing way better than the entirety of TCGO. You know, not very much in the way of graphically appealing, you know, as far as stuff moving around, but you know, everything is actually automated. The rules are in the game, and unlike TCGO and like Play TCG, it is free. So yeah, this site is actually really cool. I believe it has gotten updated significantly since the time we played this, which was several months ago. And yeah, this is an old format battle. This the format that they're actually playing was never actually a format, I believe. It's Ruby Sapphire through Team Magma, Team Aqua. The expedition sets, I believe, were allowed when Team Magma came out, so we're kind of gimped on supporters and stuff like that, but you know, we're playing some games with it and testing it out. This was the first game we played, and I recorded it in case it was a pretty good game, and it actually ended up to be okay. So I am going to have to, of course, you can pause the video if you want to zoom in and read some cards whenever I zoom in. I'll try my best to explain the strategies of these decks, as they are kind of over 10 years old, and yeah, you can definitely see some of the power creep present. But anyway, so Blah went first, then Blah's got the Team Magma deck. It's basically a swarm deck where you mostly focus on attacking with the Team Magma's Groudon. He's got active there. Back in these days, you could, right after Rare Candy had just came out, you could Rare Candy on the first turn. So turn 1 Gardevoir, how about that, as I say in the chat. And I guess my deck, I'm taking my turn, I'll talk about it. So yeah, my deck is built around this Gardevoir. There's also a Gardevoir EX you can see down there in the middle bottom row. But yeah, Gardevoir has the Poké Power Psy Shadow. You can, once per turn, you can search your deck for a basic Psychic Energy and put it on one of your Pokemon, and then it gets 20 damage. So yeah, you get a little bit of self damage, but you get some energy acceleration, and that's pretty good. So also the Gardevoir EX is a great attacker, but we'll get to that when the time comes. So what I did right there was I used my starter Dunsparce. Dunsparce was a very common starter back in this era. It was really nice. The first attack, Strike and Run. You can search your deck for 3 basic Pokemon, put them on your bench, and then if you'd like, you can switch out Dunsparce. And he also had a nice little colorless 1 for 10 plus flip for paralysis attack. So pretty good starter. You saw it definitely a lot. And I decided to switch with my Why Not here, as it's got Baby Evolution. Maybe it'll take a linear attack from this Team Magma's Groudon, and then with its Baby Evolution Poké Power, maybe I can evolve it into a Wobbuffet. When it evolves into Wobbuffet with Baby Evolution, it heals all damage from it, so that combos really well with Psy Shadow, and that's what we're hoping to accomplish here. I guess linear attack is you can hit anything, so that's, I don't know why I promoted that, but anyway. So looks like Blah is attaching a Balloon Berry there. You really have to read the chat when you play on this. Balloon Berry, it's basically a one-time float stone. It makes your retreat cost 0 until you retreat, and when you retreat, you discard it. So yeah, float stone's a little bit better than that, huh? Anyway, so he's gonna be able to free retreat that Groudon whenever he wants. And yeah, you might have noticed earlier, the Team Magma deck was actually one that is quite near and dear to me, because it was one my old buddy Dermani, but I went to high school with, used, and yeah, it was definitely a good deck. When it first came out, it swept Worlds in all 3 age divisions. Nobody saw it coming, and Japan swept Worlds. It was pretty sweet. But anyway, what he did right there was attach a Magma Energy. You can see it in the top right. It's doubled Fighting or Dark for Team Magma Pokemon, and it's discarded at the end of the turn. At the end of the turn. So he was able to get a turn 2 Pulverize off, and that just dealt 50 damage and knocked out my Why Not. So I just pushed Dunsparce back up. He's already got energy on him, so if I want to, I can retreat, or I can just go for some Sudden Flash and try to stall for some time, since we are set up deck. I got that Magneton on my bench now. I benched the Magnemite last turn with Strike and Run, so yeah, what Magneton lets you do is you can, I believe it is, discard 1 card and get back 2 basic energy cards with this Poké Power. I think that's what it is. It's like the old energy retrieval. And then you'll see why that's really good momentarily whenever I get Skitty evolved. But right now my hand is not that great. It's just a Pokemon Reversal, which is basically our current Pokemon catcher, as well as a Gardevoir EX. So I'm going to be looking to get those things evolved. And Blah points out there that Psy Shadow puts 20 damage on you. And Pulverize does 50 damage, and if they already have 2 damage counters on them, that does an additional, I believe, 20 more? I could be wrong with that. I believe it does an additional 20 more. Blah plays a reversal right there and flips tails and laments that it's not automatic as catcher used to be. Probably targeting down... I would probably target down probably the Ralts. Although back in this era, you know, you can always Ralts for a Candy Gardevoir. I zoomed in on... Let's see, apparently he's... No, that's definitely a special dark. Blah's thinking for some reason they're basic darks, and they are not. In fact, basic dark is not even legal in this format. It was actually not a thing until 4th gen rolled around. Yeah, but anyway. So, looks like he's getting ready to perhaps do a linear attack with that basic dark, or that special dark. It's gonna... Groudon is actually a dual fighting and dark type, which is a thing that I think only happened in the 3rd gen era. And yeah, he's just gonna smack Gardevoir for 40. I believe Guardy has 100 HP, so it's not too awfully bulky. But I get Energy Recycle System. That's what I draw. It's a card I used to really like. You can either get 1 basic energy back in your hand, or shuffle 3 back into your deck. So a nice modular thing. And yeah, right now I am kind of in a bad pickle right now. And Blah says it may just be me with supporter logjam. Yeah, there's not very many good supporters that we were able to pick from. We had to use Professor Birch, which is the original form of Bianca, drawn until you have 6. It was not that great. Not that great. But anyway, so that's what we're having to deal with right here. I'm not affected by this as much, and in fact, that's one of the reasons I decided to build this deck. Yeah, Blah mentions Roast Reveal. And yeah, that's what we're gonna be getting out momentarily. You see, there's that Delcatty energy draw. You can discard an energy card from your hand, and then draw up to 3 cards. There were a lot of up twos back in this day. There were not absolutes as much. But anyway, we're gonna be getting that out somewhere in the near future, I hope. And that combines very well with Magneton, who lets you get basic energies back into your hand. And yeah, you saw this a lot in several decks. It was a very nice draw engine, being able to get back basic energies, as well as yeah, keep using that not Roast Reveal. The Ninetales from the Heart Gold Soul Silver sets had Roast Reveal, which was basically the same thing, except you had to draw a fire energy. These two allowed you to use any type of energy, so that's nice. Anyway, so yeah, looks like I use Energy Recycle System there, and I believe the ruling is you actually have to put that in your hand if you only have 1 or 2. I don't think you can shuffle it into your deck. I think I'm right on that. But anyway, I got 2 Gardevoir EX in the hand, and yeah, we're looking for a rare candy right now. And right now we're using Alluring Smile, and we're going to be getting some Pokemon out. It's Wynot's attack. For each energy attached to him, you can search your deck for a Pokemon and put it into your hand. So we got 2 Ralts in play right now. And I've got 2 Gardevoir EX in my hand. So I'm gonna get 2 Curlia so we can maybe get these things evolved. There is no broken time space, you know, so you would prefer to use the awesomeness of rare candy. But fortunately, I do play 2 Curlia in this deck. So Blah's gonna retreat, gets rid of his Balloon Berry. But then he plays a Warp Point, same as the current Escape Rope. And what do I want to push up? Looks like I'm going to push up this Ralts that has... It's only got 50 HP, which was kind of about as good as Evolving Basics got back then. At least ones that evolved in Stage 2. And I'm just going to push him up to sacrifice and keep the one that's already got some energy on it. So, Blah's going to play TV Reporter, draw some cards. TV Reporter is probably the best supporter we had available to us in this limited amount of sets. But anyway, another strength of the deck Blah has, the Magma, is that it does not even need to use any Pokemon EX. So my Wobbuffet that Wynot evolves into is not going to be very good. Wobbuffet, you can see it right there. Was hovering over it, thinking about it, but it does not do very well. It's got Safeguard, and Safeguard protects from Pokemon EX, of which Blah has a grand total of 0 in there, so that's not going to help very much. Anyway, so getting stuff ready. Looks like we're probably just going to keep using Alluring Smile and getting more things to get evolved. Looks like I've got another Ralts in my hand. I should probably put that down, and so we can start getting that evolved. We've got 3 Gardevoirs in the hand. It's pretty solid. We want to get that Gardevoir EX though rolling pretty quick, as that is the main attacker of the deck. I haven't gotten it yet in play yet, so I haven't told you guys exactly what it does. But it's got a very costly attack. It costs 4 energy. Only one of which needs to be Psychic, but we have all Psychic energy, and it does 10 damage times the total number of energy in play. So that counts theirs as well. So every energy card on the board adds 10 damage to the attack. So that can ramp up pretty quick, especially if they have it as well. And Blah thinks for some reason that Groudon is a Pokemon EX. It is not, and I mentioned, no, he's kind of more like Plasma Kyurem, where he's just that big non-EX attacker. Only has 100 HP instead of the 130 that you know, we've come to know now. But he also has that Power Saver Pokebody, where he cannot attack unless you've got, I believe it's 4 Team Magma Pokemon in play. So you had to run him in a dedicated Team Magma deck. You couldn't just run him on his own. And yes, Pulverize did do 70 damage. I finally pulled it up. And yes, you did have to have 4 to be able to attack with Groudon. So Blah throws down a Stadium, which is Team Magma Hideout. I believe that puts 2 damage counters, or is it 1? Might be 1 on any Pokemon that comes down to the bench, unless it's a Team Magma Pokemon. And Magma Hideout puts 1 damage counter. Okay, so it doesn't quite get it to the point for Pulverize. Looks like Blah plays a, was that Mr. Briny? Oh, Mr. Briny's Compassion. I love that card. You could pick up, just super swoop up anything you want guaranteed on your side except for a Pokemon EX. Of course, Groudon is not an EX, so you are free to just scoop him up. Really nice. He does not have Claydol out yet, which is the energy mover for the deck, but he does have a Baltory on the bench, so that's what he's going to be looking for. But here we go. We've got Gardevoir EX out, and yeah, Stage 2. Pokemon EX, it's only got 150 HP. Looks like Blah has 10 cards in his hand, you can see at the top right. So that's going to set up very well for Gardevoir EX's first attack that only costs 2 energy. Feedback. Count the number of cards in your opponent's hand and put that many damage counters on the defending Pokemon. 10 cards in hand, so that is going to be enough to knock out Groudon. Look at all the evolved Pokemon I say. I've got 3 Stage 2s and 2 Stage 1s. Huh. How about that format? Anyway. Meanwhile, Blah has, he's got 1 evolution, which is Camerupt. Camerupt is the energy acceleration for Team Magma. You can, I believe it has to go to Camerupt. You can attach an energy card from your discard pile to Camerupt, but then he gets 2 damage counters. I believe that's the way it worked. I am pulling up the cards to be sure. Had to be a basic energy card. But, yeah. You would then ideally not want to attack with Camerupt. You would ideally move that off with the Team Magma's Claydol, which lets you once per turn, you could switch an energy card on one of your Magma Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon, and it also allowed you to move special energy cards, which was the big difference from the Team Aqua's Manectric was the counterpart that Team Aqua had, but it was not, that card did see some play, but the rest of Team Aqua pretty much did not, mostly because of Zangoose. Team Aqua had Seviper, and Seviper was way worse than Zangoose because he required specific colored energy that did not mesh well. Anyway, so here's this Claydol. It does come down now. And Claydol's attack is actually pretty decent against Gardevoir, since of course it is weak to Psychic. It's also weak to Grass because of Bug types, which I guess humorously enough it's actually not weak to Bug now. But commonly the big EXs back in the day would have 2 weaknesses instead of the usual 1. So Claydol's Dark Hand requires 1 Psychic, which there's a couple of rainbows that Blah is playing. Right now, I don't think he has any energy on board. But Dark Hand does 40 damage, and if you have more cards in your hand than the opponent, it does an additional 20. Claydol is also a Psychic and Dark type, and so you can add damage to it with Dark Energy. By default, if you do get the bonus, it's only going to be swinging for, what, 120, so you would need 2 Special Dark to knock out with Dark Hand, and that can be kind of tough to get on there. You know, Gardevoir is a big Pokemon EX, so right now though mine's got 20 damage on it, and yeah, yes. So Blah cycles out his Team Magma Hideout Stadiums. At this point, you were not disallowed from playing a stadium of the same name, so yeah. And yeah, I mentioned if I had the resources back then, this is definitely the deck I would have played, because I do hearts my Gardevoirs, you know. But right now I'm more or less fully set up. You know, I'm just gonna be trying to get more Gardevoirs to go down. As it happens to turn out, I haven't even been commentating on the prize situation. Blah has 2 prizes left. If he knocks out one Pokemon EX, namely my Gardevoir EX, he will win the game. And I still have 5 prizes to take, and I'm going to have to take 5 knockouts to do it, because Blah does not play any Pokemon EX. Yeah. So fortunately, I'm attempting to not use Psy Shadow if I can help it on this benched Gardevoir EX, as that's going to set up for definitely a 2-hit KO with Pulverize, whereas 50 plus 70 would not be a knockout with Pulverize. So I would like to be able to take 2 hits from Pulverize if possible. Special Dart could throw off that math depending. And I believe right here we get a little bit of a glitch with Maxi. Maxi is a supporter card for Team Magma. It allows you to just put from your hand or your discard pile any Team Magma Pokemon just directly into play, even if it's an evolution. If it happens to be the one stage 2 that Team Magma had, which was Aggron, you had to put 2 damage counters on it. But this was a fantastic supporter. You could just get Claydol and Camerupt and play just immediately. And in fact, some decks did not even bother to play. Some variants of Team Magma did not even bother to play Baltoy or Numel, because you could just use Maxi to put them the stage 1 directly into play. Very nice stuff going on. But okay, yeah, I do apologize if this commentary is a bit all over the place. Certainly, this is, you know, the first game I've uploaded with this site, and I hope to get some more up, because this is definitely a lot of fun to play these older formats. But hopefully we'll also get better at the commentary. It's a little bit tougher to follow along, that's for sure. So I don't know how good of a watch it makes, but anyway. So it looks like Blah attached a Magma Energy there, and hit me with some Pulverize, so that makes me up to 90 damage. I do need to be wary of linear attack can hit the bench, so I'm probably going to end up wanting to retreat this. Gardevoir looks like I play a Warp Point, so that's going to make Blah switch first, and then I'm definitely going to get this Gardevoir back to safety. He's got 9 cards in his hand. I wish he had 1 more, so that I could feed back for the knockout. But at the very least, I guess we can feed back this thing, and then he won't be able to attach a rainbow to it to power it up, so that could be nice. But looks like instead I'm going to go for the big play, which is use Psy Shadow and an attachment for turn, and we're getting ready, because here comes the Psy Storm. And yeah, looks, how much did that one have on there? I've got, let's see, 4, I got 8 energy cards on my side. He's got 1 in the current active. I guess he had at least 1 on the previous active. And yeah, this is the strength of Gardevoir EX. Once you get a lot of energy on the board, you know, and if they try to mount an offensive against you, it's a little bit like Mewtwo and Evil Tall now, you know, they want to get energy on their board to mount attacks against you, but you kind of turn that power against them with Psy Storm. So yeah, even though Blah was up 5-2 at some point, also right now, Groudon's Power Saver is being a very cantankerous thing. I say more like Power Failer. Right now he only has 3 Team Magma Pokemon in play. He needs to get 1 more in play to be able to attack with Team Magma's Groudon. Usually not too big a deal, but there's a Maxi. And I mentioned Team Plasma Kyurem should have had Power Saver, but oh well. Yeah, so he's got a Maxi, and boom, you see right there, Claydol just comes right back into play, and now he's got 4, so he'll be able to attack with Groudon just fine. He's got 1 basic fighting on there, looks like, and he's gonna put a basic fighting on the benched one, looks like, and is he moving? Oh, okay, camera up, maybe using Overheat. Oh, there's actually the stadium is a pop-up there. You couldn't see the damage on camera up there. I'm sorry, guys. But now I move the stadium pop-up out of the way. And it looks like a Magma Energy is going to go on this Groudon. This gets, looks like 2 colorless, but that really just means special energy that's providing 2, I guess. And yeah, I think that might be all of his Magma Energy gone. And now, unfortunately, my Gardevoir EX has 90 damage on it. And it's still got 60 HP left, but that's not really a great spot. Still, that's potential Magma Energy with Claydol's Magma Switch. He can definitely pull off a Pulverize next turn, so we're on our way to a comeback, but I'm going to have to get something else out here, looks like. Of course, Delcatty and Magneton have been drawing me plenty of cards, so once I got those guys in play, you know, that was... the draw engines like that were kind of what let you play cards like Maxi, although I guess you didn't do it in Magma, but, you know, there was definitely a lot more room for more search and do stuff that affects the board supporters. Whereas in the current format, it's kind of just you need supporters for draw because there aren't a lot of good draw-based Poke Powers and abilities and stuff. So we got a couple of options here. We could potentially get that. Let's see. Actually, I don't. No, you can't. Why not? Well, you just put Wobbuffet on the field. I'm trying to say, why not? Rare Candy Wobbuffet. No, you would just put Wobbuffet straight down if you wanted that. Anyway. So we're gonna energy draw, and what I'm really hoping to get here is a Ralts, so I can maybe Rare Candy into a. Looks like I did draw a Gardevoir EX there. I kind of need to hold on to some stuff. We're gonna look through his discard pile. Check. Okay, looks like we have 4 Magma Energy gone, so that's at least one option that's gonna be off the table. But yeah, I need to get another Ralts in here, and I believe one is in the discard pile. I don't know if I've shuffled it back in. Obviously I have 4 Gardevoir in play, so I don't know what IV training. I know I've seen the phrase IV training like somewhere, and it was being used whatever. Anyway, that IV training is an old joke. Oh, I think someone named Bobby joined the spectating of the game. But anyway. So it looks like I just do Psystorm and knock out this Groudon, go down to 2 prizes, and this is a really dangerous thing here. The main reason I did this was to reduce him back to 3 Team Magma Pokemon in play, and now he's gotta get another one. So yeah, it's a very big gamble that I took here. He would just need 1 more Team Magma Pokemon, as I mentioned right now. Or two kinds of cards in an 8-card hand. That's definitely playing with fire right there. As he definitely has the options right now, especially with Overheat and Magma Switch. Actually, I believe Camerupt has only 80 HP. Is that right? Yeah, and he's already got 60 damage. So if he actually Camerupt is off the table at this point, unless he plays like Life Herb. Life Herb's not out yet. 6 energy, a Claydol that should be in play, and a useless supporter. I think that is actually Maxi, as we were mentioning. There were glitches with Maxi. I think it was that you couldn't play it from your hand was the glitch, whereas you're supposed to be able to. So anyway, Suicidal Camel. Blah just decides to go ahead and do that with Claydol, or with the Camerupt, and knock itself out. It's there's no real reason to do that, I guess, at this point. He just figures he won't be able to attack, and it's extremely unlikely that he would be able to draw into stuff to... Actually, I guess it couldn't be Maxi, because then he would be able to play the Maxi and get something out of the discard pile. But anyway, yeah, looks like his supporter was indeed Professor Birch, which was drawn to EF6. So yeah. We're just going to get more energy in play to make sure we can knock out this Groudon. He decided to knock out his own Camerupt, so that just made the game a little bit quicker. And yeah, so that was that. We were down 5-2, and we're able to come back. So again, sorry if this commentary was not exactly the best. This certainly is kind of hard to follow along with, and I sometimes am not sure how to go into thought process versus explaining what's going on, because obviously these decks are kind of old, and I don't expect most, if any of you, to be familiar with what they do. So anyway, this is definitely a format that I like a lot, and if I have any more in this format, we'll have actual from this format with the correct draw supporters like Copycat and whatnot. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I know this was a little bit of a weird video. We will be back on TCGO at some point, but I am hoping to get some more up on this as well. So see you guys for that, and thanks to Blah for testing this site out with me. It was definitely a lot of fun, and hope to do some more on in the future. So later days.